I'm excited. I hope you are too. Oh, jeez. Morec versus Kalte again. And Morec is going to feel a lot better with his map. Last game we saw him forced to do a berry start. And if he's, sorry I had to move my mic there. And if he's off that berry start, like he's going to be building a storage pit here. He's going to feel real good about this. Just needs to make sure he puts it in the best possible spot. And he'll feel strong. I mean, last game we saw a huge difference in speed. Even though Kalte had what should have been the faster map. And Kalte once again finding potentially a faster map here. For very close shorefish, too close Ellie. The wood line, not as good for him, but these strags will... well, the strags will help. The strags will definitely help. It's hard to say. I think Morec's going to have an early Vil lead, I believe, to that 8th Vil. As I think he did get that, what's it called? He did get that storage pit up and running a little bit quicker. Ooh, interesting choice. Going right away for this Ellie lure. Will slow down Kalte's income even more for that beginning. Now we'll see. What are we going to see? I think Morec is going to do the same strategy. I think he's going to go for just barracks in the middle of the map. He didn't really spot his opponent. He saw it a bit after he placed the barracks. He saw, I think, with the other artifact, and I think he generally knew his opponent was on 9 last game. So we'll have to see if Morec is able to compete this game and really come into his own, or Kalte rather is able to compete this game and come into his own, like we saw in his games against Hidari. He was very, very strong. Hopefully, for his sake, he can put together another convincing victory, as we saw before. But Morec here looking dominant in game 1, looking to close out with a quick 2-0. So it looks like Kalte's going to be getting that early scout info. He's coming across. And this artifact will potentially... Ooh, Morec sees it. He's going to try to deny the house vision. He's going right for it. Okay. And there's the stop. Ooh, and getting a really early dock here. I like this play from Morec. Maybe switching it up a bit. That's a lot on wood. Yep. So he is going for a bit of a dock boom here. If he gets up 4 or 5 ships and is able to compete with Kalte's time again, I mean, he'll be even more unstoppable. But oh my gosh, Kalte really coming forward with this Vil. He really wants the info. And he will spot the 2 stone mines, which will inform him that his opponent is just around the corner of this area. Going to put him in a really good position to rush his opponent. Now, with this, we always talk about this. Morec is 2 Vils ahead, geez. Yeah, Kalte's start maybe a little slow there. We saw him build the storage pit late and then go for the Ellie, which took even more time. So it adds up. It adds up. Being 30 seconds behind your opponent is not something you want to be. This artifact will get info on that house location, so I think at this point, Kalte has triangulated his opponent's position. Even though Kalte tried to shut down those early artifact scouts, he was incapable of denying the total knowledge that Kalte now has. I don't think Morec has been able to replicate the success of Kalte's early scouting here. I think Kalte is mostly hidden. Not that these small maps, with these small maps, it's not the biggest deal. Usually you're able to find your opponent pretty quickly, but if you go for Axers, it's really important to know where your opponent is. So, I like this start from Kalte a lot, though. Just perfect saturation on the food sources. I think he's really going to be having a much faster time. 17 Vils. Is he going on 17? If he goes on 17, we could be looking for a deadly fast rush. Well, whereas Morec is going up to 24 Vils now. Yeah, the 24 Vil start. We've seen this a lot. It's a pretty common number. It just that with Minoan, the numbers just seem to work. If you get food and wood, you can get out your early buildings here. He might even be able to afford another fishing boat or 2 with that Minoan cheaper fishing boat bonus. But he might also be forced to just hold the wood for his buildings. With his stone mine out here, this slower play is getting a little risky. And yeah, and you can see it now. Artifact scouting for Morec on the wrong side of the map. At least it gives him a little bit of info as to where his opponent isn't. Yeah, so these barracks down the potential hill. I'm seeing Kalte potentially getting a very fast time, although he is building defensively. Interesting decision. Kalte, with 7 fewer vills, is building defensively. I expected him to be much faster and build on Morec's face, especially when we know he saw everything he needed to know exactly where all of Morc's economy is. And when you look at your economy tab in-game, because players can spot this in-game, they can see this. If you see your opponent's up 7 vills on you, you know you're going to be faster, right? And that's when you have to decide now, in that moment, to do the rush. If you can, if you're capable. And here come the clubbers. He knows where to go with them. He's going to be coming down the map. And now Morec with 2 barracks for defense. Probably slingers, I would assume. Maybe some axers, but yeah, he can't really go for slingers because the stone is kind of out on the front here, and looks like Kalte is coming right in to attack on this point. But look at it, look at the numbers. Somehow, Morec is up first. What is going on? How did Morec beat Kalte by a few seconds with 7 more villagers? I mean, that time difference and that vill difference, it looks like Kalte rushed himself this game, and now he's going to lose another one of his precious vills. With a vill deficit like this, it's really going to put him in trouble if he loses this forward. It's how he's going to be applying a lot of this pressure, and he's not running the right way with this vill. If he wants to escape, it's going to just get absolutely mauled to death here. And now the upgrades are coming in for both players. Morec with +2/+2 on his Axeman will win in these one-on-ones. Kalte does not have that +2 damage just yet. Looking to grab it soon, though. He wants to be able to compete with the defensive axers of Morec. Both players with defensively placed buildings, though. This could lead us to a slightly longer game. However, Morec already crossed the map with those first 2 clubbers he made, and he is already getting villager economy damage. Economy damage that Kalte wasn't quite able to get, and it looks like Morec is now going to be transitioning into an offensive push with these axers. Man, I shouldn't have played now. I'm too slow. GG from Kalte. Oh man, Kalte calling a quick GG here. Wow. Wow, very fast series, guys. Very fast series. Very fast best of 3. Can't say that anyone should be absolutely too surprised. Not to Kalte's deficit there, but I mean, Morec is just so strong. And Kalte made a few critical mistakes that we kind of pointed out, and I think when you put those 2 together, Morec is not the player you can make these mistakes against. Morec, you can see in his map, he just played absolutely perfectly, and he had tons of shorefish. You see all that shorefish? That was a beautiful map from Morec. But I mean, to say that would be to say that Kalte didn't have a great map as well. He had a 2 shorefish woodline. He had another 4 shorefish woodline to start with. He could have pit over here as well later for another 2. He had good options. Good options. And I think the one option you can't do is pit an inefficient woodline and then do Ellie start. I think if he had pit on the wood and done an Ellie start, maybe that could have been beneficial. But this is just nitpicking at this point.